Safety. Intuition comes from a place of safety. Emotionally, physically, spiritually, safe, calm, protected. Find that place. Go to that space. Listen to what God has to tell you of what your next move should be. Our intuition, our inner tuition, our inner guidance system, our innate wisdom. That knowing, a knowing so sure. We might get distracted, but eventually our intuition does pour. We might get triggered, but intuition speaks once the boil has simmered. We might get lost or swallowed in fear, but intuitive guidance is always near. We might fall for another false promise, but intuition never left. Far from it. We might get sold a lie of safety, but intuition will be there when you come to see. We might fall far from a sure knowing, but a sign for the next step is in the wind blowing. Feelings can seem so overwhelming, but intuition guides us on the wave sailing. Intuition is not about perfection, an easy ride or life free from rejection. Intuition is like a compass through the rainforest. It will keep us more safe than those who profess to know mostest. We are all on an inner and outer journey. Both can get desperately scary. But even in the darkest depths of despair, there is an inner knowing within somewhere. Our minds are miseducated, but our ancestral intelligence is not complicated. But they've got us wrapped up in so much anxiety, we don't hear the wisdom directing us quietly. Build up some habits and break some down. You'll soon feel back in touch with your intuitive crown. Patience is a virtue, they say. Deep breaths may help when things don't change straight away. When life seems unavoidably sore, we'll be appreciating the rest some more. Appreciation is a light so warm and powerful. It's an emotion that can keep away trouble, but trouble can lead to more gratitude, even enough to outshine the darkest of news. I believe and have faith in your intuition, because we are more similar than different. And I believe my intuition will guide me to where I'm most in service to be. So my name is Growing Nay. I'm a spoken word artist and poet. I'm from the Midlands and I'm going to be performing Intuition and Takes a Village. So I always wrote from a young age, but I had a change in my life where I was going through a lot. I was in a domestic violence situation and I started to use poetry as my outlet for my truth. And it's how I started to find my own truth again, because I'd been heavily influenced by somebody. So it's how I found myself, my true expression. And then it just kept going from there, basically. Success to me looks like being able to provide for my family, for my 2 children. It means being fulfilled in my life. It means having good mental health. It means having my basic needs met, and then being able to give back to the community as well, and live a life that I'm happy in, that I can do what I love, and that my children can do what they love too. Being an artist to me is something that we all are. We're all artists. We're all artists of our life. We're all artists in every moment. We get to create every moment that we're in. Doing poetry and spoken word is my form of art. My motivation for my art comes down to my mental health a lot of the time. If I start feeling low, writing is how I work through those emotions and find the deeper messages that are trying to come through to direct me in my life. It's how I get in touch with my intuition. It's because of how much I care for you, why the struggle is so intense, the responsibility I feel for you, to do right by you, to love you and give you the life you deserve. You are the most innocent, sacred flowers of this earth. The saying is true, the struggle is real. Most don't and will never know how we feel. Most would rather die than feel this kind of pain, but this responsibility keeps us on life's train. We're high functioning, but the pain hasn't gone away. It beats us down more or less every day. But nappies need changing and tears need holding, so our pain gets caught up in the laundry we're washing. Our children see it in us when we snap at the smallest fuss, and that's what breaks our hearts, knowing our children are one with our scars. People say, get more support, but some families are in the matrix core. Work takes all their energy. It's no longer villages raising baby, but one mum on the edge of what they call crazy. And the family's watching TV while she cries, trying desperately to love her children on zero energy. For another, her family have been long gone, born into this world as just one. But to me, she seems the most spiritual, cause her mum and dad have always been metaphysical. But how is she supposed to do this? One woman trying her best to be the village. And yeah, we're blessed. And yeah, we're getting the divine's test. But we know empathy don't exist when we feel this stressed. Seems like some people would rather in their own self-interest invest, rather than be family, auntie or uncle to a child who's always feeling in trouble. Cause mum's got depression and PTSD, given her circumstance understandably, on top of what was passed on ancestrally. Now I know you know I ain't just talking about her or me. I see the pain in our mothers collectively. I see what we're dealing with and it ain't pretty. But no one's speaking up cause they'll take our baby. Some people mean well but judgments are shady. If you've not been in this position then you don't know really. And ignorance can lead to consequences of catastrophe. Who can find it as their purpose to support mums tortured in this system so torturous? Who can find their way to support instead of in your own vanity getting caught? Careful, your boundaries don't turn into egoic self-indulgence. Don't wish your soul a condolence. Check in with your conscience. Don't let society lead you into arrogance. The only route that will take you where they promise is to find your path of aligned service, where it serves you to serve them. You ain't helping no one if you project them as the problem. Hive mentalities amplifying lost infections. Where's the focus on finding compassionate perceptions? Some people aren't even aware of their delusional intentions. Stop self-rejecting your divinity, acting like you didn't come here to live in the paradise of harmony, acting like you'd accept a life where you're not free. Go up and dance with the gods in thee. Remember your power to get where you aim to be. Don't worry if you ain't there yet, there's purpose in the struggle, but you'll get there cause you're more witch than muggle. You've got the power to make it through, just let go of your pride and do what you gotta do. Advocate for your needs cause no one else is going to, but you deserve to be loved through and through. Babies are one with their mum. Mums are suffering under the patriarchal capitalist gun. Can you be part of the solution? Support and not judge, or you're just part of the problem. Support don't have to be anything in particular. It's just got to be aligned to a path to a life higher. Not just higher in giving, but higher in the experience you're receiving. Service that's aligning. It's a life that's spiritually climaxing. Single mums, you are the ultimate one on the cross. Sacrificing everything to protect your children at all costs. I pray you get the support you deserve, where your life can be more of a blessing than a curse. I run a writing group, like an in-person one that I've just started, with a book called The Artist's Way. So we're working to rediscover our creative power and potential. I do a monthly Topics Tuesday open mic online, where people come and share their poetry and spoken word on different discussions and topics each week. And through my Instagram, like I do a lot on Instagram, I put a lot on there, short films and poetry. So advice I'd give to any artist looking to get into the industry is that nothing can hold you back from getting into the industry. There's nothing, you don't need anything other than your story, your expression, a pen, a piece of paper, and as long as you have maybe a phone to share it on social media or just start going to open mics, you can literally share your art. You don't need the big technology, you don't need money, you don't need anything. There's no excuses why you can't start being an artist right now today. So I'm currently applying for a couple of grants to be able to do an EP, and I'm currently writing a couple of books based on my life experiences and a collection of my poetry. I'm also applying for a grant to do 2 new short films based on my poetry. One poem's about the people that sell the big issue, and the other poem's about a woman who's came over from Jamaica and had her child stolen from by social services unjustly. So those 2 films will be coming out very soon, and just more content, more live performances, and more opportunities that come my way. My social media handles is growingnay.poetry and growingnay_poetry. I'm on YouTube and SoundCloud as well. I'm just starting, so everything's basic, but I don't mind that because I want to show people like you don't have to be perfect when you start. You can be making mistakes, you can be looking like you don't know what you're doing, but just start and you never know what will happen.